right. Hey, everybody. Wish me luck. I'm trying a new setting on this old SSL interface, which doesn't like to cooperate with StreamYard. So in my headphones and on the meters here, I can hear the guitar. That sounds damn good. Turns out, though, with the SSL interface, StreamYard only grabs channel 1 no matter what. Guitar's on channel 2. And I could turn off my mic and just play guitar through channel 1. So I logged on a few minutes early here. All indicators are StreamYard is transmitting channel 2. I see meters down here. There's a setting I Googled and ChatGPT'd into the SSL software. And there's a loop back function. So I'm trying to loop back both channels into channel 1. So the first person to log on here, I see thumbs up emojis already. If anybody's there, let me know if you can hear the guitar. If not, we're just going to talk today. So yeah, there's people on now. I'm trying a new setting on this SSL interface. See if the guitar is coming through. Can you hear the guitar? So with my Apogee, it worked great, but one of my animals pulled my Apogee off my desk and broke the input jack, for the big main cable. So the people at Apogee are fixing it for me. In the meantime, I'm stuck with this. Now, my only other option is to get a little mixer and just run the channel out. So I see people logging on. Can you guys hear the guitar? I don't think you do, but I'm just trying a new setting to see if it works. If not, I thought we'd just talk and maybe tell our favorite musician jokes. And try to pretend the world isn't crazy. So anyway, anybody there? Can you hear the guitar? Can you hear the guitar? This is my custom shop 58 Junior again, which is for sale, by the way. It's weird. I see a bunch of people on. Can you guys hear me okay? Is it coming through? Man, the guitar sounds killer in my headphones. It won't be until I get my Apogee fixed or I borrow a little mixer or something that we can share it with you again. Might be the impetus for me just to buy a little tiny 4-channel mixer or something. Years of trouble with StreamYard. I've tried other pieces of software and believe it or not, they work worse. Can you guys hear me okay? Anything? Nothing? It's another one of those days. Technical problems. It's, Jesus Christ, what in the hell was that? Something just fell over. Okay, hopefully nothing expensive. Hey, Steven, can you hear the guitar? Really good. Okay, wow, it worked. Nice to see you, Steven. I hope you're well, buddy. Yeah, to do some weird loopback routing on the software to get it to work with StreamYard. Wow. Hey, what a pleasant surprise. Nice to see you too. Nice surprise, Stephen. Um, so for those of you, including Stephen, I'm on the last week of recovering from eye surgery. This eye is working again. I had a detached retina. Hey, Russell Hicks, how are you, buddy? So, what in the world is behind me here? I'm banging into something. It's a little bit of a mess here, trying to run my office out of the my home office. Chad Jones, I need to finally sit with my London and dial it in. Vox side is easy, Marshall side more finicky. Well, I can help you with that. Gotta warm up the old bones. Oh, you had both eyes done for cataracts. Me too. So I had this eye. I had retina surgery a year ago, a detached retina. That's neat. It's an 8-week recovery period. And then I went in for a checkup early December to check on this eye, and the doc said, well, let's just look in here as long as you're here. And he goes, buddy, I got bad news for you. We got to do this retina. So that was full on, laying face down for a while, and I still have a nitrous oxide bubble in this eye, about the bottom quarter of my vision. It's still there, which is interesting. It's like I'm looking through a glass of water, out of this eye, and the top 65% of it's clear, and my vision looks great, but it's not done yet. You can kind of see I look a little weird, look like I got punched in the face still a little bit. But the cataract surgery I thought was easy compared to the retina surgery. It is weird having people mess with your eyes, though, that's for sure. Anyway, so I have really good childlike vision now. When it's all healed up, especially. But as you know, Stephen, I pick the distance lenses for my cataracts, so I still need readers. I can read this on the screen because my monitor is a 43-inch television. So Stevie Wonder could read this right now, and it'd be fine, and that works. It's hereditary. Yes, it is. I had some weirdness 2 weeks ago when I came home and saw nothing but blue dots in my left. That's not good. Make sure your retina's staying intact, man. Oh, so you got the mixed lenses. How does that work? I was afraid of that. I heard mixed reviews on that, pardon the pun. But anyway, eye surgery. You can see my left eye still looks a little weird, not completely open. It's because of that gas bubble. And it gives me a little bit of a Marty Feldman. My eye's not completely aligned yet until the gas bubble goes away. So anyway, it's been a fun year. Last year, it was almost the same time. I had it done right around Thanksgiving in 2024. So it went through the holidays and NAM and all that stuff. This year I had it done like December 10th, I think. You still need to find a schematic for the Soho. I can help you with that. Not sure if it's similar to the HP. Was hoping you could help. It's on the bench now. Blake, I thought I sent that to you. I certainly have it. Can you message me on Facebook again? If I missed it, I'm sorry. Yeah, I can certainly. You went to the dock. All fine, just an aging thing. Yeah, floaters. Yeah, I got a lot of floaters. It should be very similar to the HP, Blake, other than the power section. The preamp will be exactly the same. What is the issue you have with your Soho that you're working on? Good to see you, Steven. Take care. Talk to you soon, buddy. Breaking up and cutting out. Wow, that could be a million things. The tubes, you're sure are all good? 99% of tube amp problems is usually tubes. Yeah, I'll happily send you the schematic. It's hard to diagnose without looking at it. Sounds like a song. What does? What sounds like a song? Anyway, this amp is about ready to go into production. Tubes are new, tested and good. Okay. Sometimes tube sockets are dirty or loose, or there's a cold solder joint. Things like that. Have you sprayed them all out with deoxit and stuff? I'm just doing the obvious stuff. These are things that I do to amps every time I have them apart. I can't tell you how many times what was a perceived big problem with an amp was literally just something simple like that. Doesn't mean that's what's going on with your amp. It's just good to cross it off the list, right? So anyway, I have an initial agreement with a contract manufacturer, and we're going to go into production hopefully by the summer at the latest. Also, I'm going to bring back maybe 2 of the legacy models. Right now, I'm thinking Little Elvis and the Stone Pony. I know how to run the Stone Pony safely now so that the tubes will last. And this amp, which I can do about 4 versions of, this is 6L6s. We can do it with EL34s, KT77s, or KT66s. I'll message my email. Appreciate yours. Yeah, no problem. I thought I'd sent you what you need, but I might have missed it. I'm sorry, buddy. You're a liar and a cheat. No, what is it? It's Aretha Franklin, right? You're no good. Heartbreaker. You're a liar and a cheat. Anyway, this, my friends, I've been trying to sell. I sold my Gretsch, the old Gretsch 6120. It is now going to reside over at Dave Grohl's studio. So you'll be hearing records over there. The head engineer, Oliver Roman, bought it from me. This is a Custom Shop 58 Junior reissue. I have upgraded it with the Music City Bridge and their big studs and everything. And then Michael DeTemple put on a fossilized Mastodon ivory nut. This guitar is $4,000 new. I'll sell it to you for quite a bit less than that if you want to buy it. Great guitar. I did not change the pickup. Once I did the bridge and the nut, I thought, God, it sounds great. So as I get further along with my guitar experience, pickups are crucial, of course, and they are what you're listening to. But what I have learned through many expensive experiments is that if you set Adam, that's funny. Adam says, little Elvis needs a commemorative canister of pomade. Yeah, baby. Maybe a velvet shirt. Anyway, what I have learned with guitar, if it's a good piece of wood, which a lot of guitars are, a lot of guitars aren't, but you can tell that when you buy a guitar, which I'm hesitant to buy guitars off the internet for that reason. I need to touch them and see if they ring. Like, this guitar is vibrating my belly right now. Like, it rings, right? But if you get the bridge and the studs really nailed down with high quality stuff, like Callahan, Tone Pros, Faber, who's kind of my new favorite, and then spend a little money on the nut. A bone nut is great. It works really well. If you do the fossilized mastodon ivory, or the tusk, fossilized tusk, people call it different things, it really adds another dimension to the guitar. Now they are expensive. A good bone nut, can be $50. A fossilized mastodon ivory nut is usually about $300. Because it's such a hard substance, it takes the luthier a long time to make the nut. Literally can be a whole afternoon for them to cut this nut and get it slotted correctly and get the height correctly and everything. But boy, does it add a lot to the guitar. So with this particular guitar, once I did that, I thought, man, these pickups are great. Let me go over to a little cleaner sound, but that's a good junior sound. Sounds a little bit crude, I went and saw Peter play with his band at the Whiskey A Go-Go a few weeks ago. And the drummer in the band is Tony Brock from the Babies. So they did a Babies tune. They did Midnight Rendezvous. That song I'm just playing or trying to play. Oh, hey, Mike. How are you, buddy? This is a custom shop. It's brand new. I mean, it's less than a year old. It's a custom shop, 1958 Junior reissue. They kind of handpicked it, the guys over there, me. I put the Music City Bridge and studs on it, Joe Glazer's stuff. It intonates better and rings really good. And then Michael DeTemple cut me a fossilized mastodon ivory nut. I have all the original stuff. It's in the case. The guitar is literally 8 months old. So retail, I've got about $4,500 into it, 44. I did not pay retail, of course. So I'll cut you a great deal. I'll give you more than $1,000 off of that. And it's basically a new guitar. I have all the case candy, certificate of authenticity, all that kind of stuff. And it's like an alligator skin case. It's really cool. If you're interested, give me a call. You know what? The reason I'm doing it is Peter came over, I guess it was 3 weeks ago. His band Close Enemies was playing at the Whiskey A Go-Go. And I was still recovering from my eye surgery, so he was really nice. He brought over a couple of his guitars, as if I don't have any. And we played some guitar for the afternoon. He hung out the whole afternoon with me. But he brought this 64 white SG Junior that was insane. And he's playing it. I think I posted some pictures of him playing that guitar at the gig. And then he was playing it all night through a 100-watt Marshall, non-master volume, man Marshall. Hey, Bruce. Bruce Egnator, everybody. Hey, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. I hope you're well, man. What a nice surprise. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. Bruce Egnator. Say hello, Bruce. Um, Bruce is one of my favorite amp makers. He's a really smart, capable guy. And if you've never met him, he's quite the gentleman. He's really a good person. So, hello, Bruce. Thanks for coming. Anyway, Peter had this guitar, and it was just ridiculous, and I've been having impure thoughts about it ever since. And then I got to hear him play it. I have some videos. I can share them with you guys. I'll put them on the fans page. He's playing it through a 100-watt Marshall half stack, non-master volume Marshall. He had a load box on it, but it was still louder than hell. There was a moment where the PA went thermal. It's the Whiskey a Go-Go, right? There was a moment where the PA went thermal, and all we could hear was stage volume. And they were louder than shit on stage. Like true rock and roll show. It was pretty cool. Hugs to you, Bruce. I hope I see you soon, man. So, for those of you that know, I went to Musicians Institute in 1986 and 1987. I used to hang out at the Whiskey all the time. The band that I was in, we didn't play at the Whiskey. That was more the metal-y guys, with the spandex and the blue eyeshadow and that kind of stuff. My band was a little more of a rock and roll band. Leather pants and cowboy boots, that sort of thing. But I did go to the Whiskey a lot. And it was quite the flashback. I have not been there since the 80s. And I'm in there, and it's a loud rock and roll band playing 100-watt non-master volume Marshalls. It was like I woke up from a 40-year dream, where I was a straight guy and had a mortgage and bills and all this kind of stuff. Mike, they play all over the Southeast. Their record's coming out. Hey, Jamie. Their record's coming out in March, so they're going to start touring more. But right now they're in Florida, I think. Go to their Facebook page. You can see what's up. There's a lot of videos of them playing. But anyway, so I'm, of course, sitting right in front of Peter because I really want to hear Peter mostly. And God, I'm just gonna cuss. You guys, if you're averse to cuss words, I apologize in advance. But God damn, it sounded so good. And I gotta confess, the first couple songs I had tears in my eyes. I haven't heard a real rock and roll band in I don't know how long. There's a lot of kind of rock bands, and they're derivative of stuff, and they're playing small amps, and it's a nice mix in the PA system, and it's very tidy. But you know what I mean? Like a proper loud rock and roll band that was killing it. So it's Peter, right? Of course, who you guys know is fantastic. Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith playing bass. And Tony Brock from the Babies playing drums. And then their singer, Chasen Hampton. I don't know where they found this guy, but he's ridiculous. The videos I'll show you, they sound better live than they do on their recordings. And their recordings are good. They recorded everything at Peter Frampton's studio. So, in Nashville. And then the other guitar players, Trace Foster, who works with Aerosmith and AC/DC. Great player, super guy. It was just such a welcome thing to go to a real rock and roll show. Oh my God. And I have some videos where you can feel the power. Two guys playing 100-watt Marshalls on stage. In today's sort of framework, when you think, oh my God, 200-watt Marshalls on stage, it must be punishingly uncomfortable. It wasn't. It was just really nice. It was loud. I wouldn't go to a show that loud every night, but once a year is great. And I didn't bring my hearing protection, which I should have. My ears did ring for about a day afterwards. But man, it was so cathartic. And it felt so good, like guys of my age, because I'm over 29. I grew up going to see rock and roll bands from the time I was a little kid. And rock and roll's old people's music now, and we're all kind of adults here, so most of you probably remember what it's like to go to a proper rock and roll show. I knew it in the back of my head, but it had been so damn long that I couldn't quite touch it. And the first couple songs they played, I was literally wiping tears out of my eyes. I was so happy. And then I got to see Peter doing his thing. Sheryl Crow is great, and he's Cheryl's musical director. and he's professional as hell, but that's not really who he is as a guitar player. It's his job, and he takes it very seriously, and he really likes Cheryl a lot, and it's been a great run. Nothing negative to say there, but at his heart, Peter is a guy playing a junior through a 100-watt Marshall. That's who he is. And that's what he, excuse me, it's like I inhaled a bug or something. That's what he does with Close Enemies. And the whole band is like that. And it's, I'm telling you, it's like waking up from a dream. It was just so good. Hey, Pat Garrity, how are you, buddy? Good to see you. So anyway, the reason I'm selling this guitar is after playing Peter's Junior, or it was an SG Special, actually. Hey, Hoss Thompson, how are you, buddy? Greetings to my friends over in England. Drive-By Truckers still sound loud and killer. That's right. That's a good band, too. Anyway, it was so nice watching Peter do his thing. You know, and Peter's been my brother for 40 years, you know, and we've talked about this stuff forever. And to see him do it, like, and he's standing right next to Tom Hamilton from Aerosmith. And Tony Brock's a great drummer. You know, he played with the Babies, of course, but he played with Rod Stewart and people like that for a long time. Man, it was so damn good. So I've had that song in my head ever since the gig. Driving faster than you want me to. All right. Baby, can't you see? I wish I could sing. I wish I knew the words. I'm still getting over a nice sinus infection, too. I am just a mess. I'm the shell of a man. For you youngsters out there, check out Midnight Rendezvous by the Babies. Great song, really fun, and stick in your head, you know, like glue for a long time. Mike Leaptrot says, I feel that way when I see Blackberry Smoke. Yeah, that's a real rock and roll band. Real amps and a real stage volume. Yeah, that's right. Those are some good Atlanta guys, too. Their drummer, who passed away, rest his soul, went to high school with my wife. And they used a whiskey on a record they did over at Henson. Oh, gosh, been over 10 years ago. Brendan produced it. And Tom Sorowski engineered it. And they used a whiskey on that. I think they used other amps, too. But so anyway, for all of you old rock and rollers, it was quite a cathartic moment. But it also made me realize, like, I love this guitar, and I wouldn't sell it, except for that's the only way I can get the guitar that I really want to get after playing Peters. And they're, unfortunately, about $5,000 or $6,000. So for a good one with original pickups and all that stuff. Peters' guitar has a neck very similar to this. It's a Les Paul neck. Like, this neck's pretty big. This is a 58 Les Paul kind of geometry. It's a pretty chunky neck. Not huge, but it's not skinny. And who you calling old? Not you, Bill. You spry young bastard. Just like me, man. As long as my knees don't hurt, I'm pretty fast. But, so yeah, that's why I'm selling the guitar. So if anybody's interested, let me know. It's really less than a year old. It's probably got maybe 6 or 7 hours playing time on it. Rob Price says 100-watt Marshalls. Sounds fun. I was at a jam party last Saturday, and since I only played one song, I didn't bring my rig, and I used my Line 6 HX Stomp, which is great. No fun at all. How's life in high definition and low fidelity? Ha ha, yeah, that's right. The spark of high heeled boots. Is that what that is? How's the neck dive? You mean the neck pitch on this guitar? It's pretty good. I don't know if you can see. I think it's set up really, really well. It's a really nice guitar. Oh, Michael DeTemple redid. He didn't reinstall the frets, but he reshaped the frets also. So it plays like lightning. Michael DeTemple is a savant with frets. I've never seen anything like it. So I took this over there to get the nut. And he goes, oh, brand new guitar from the custom shop, huh? How do you like the frets? And I go, I think they're great. He goes, you want me to fix them? And I went, man, you do whatever you want. When I go to Michael DeTemple, it's like when you go to the sushi place and you say omakase, I mean, just give me your best, right? That's what I do with Michael. I just go, just make the guitar. And I didn't think he was going to do much. And holy crap. I mean, it plays like a really refined Les Paul now. It doesn't feel like a Junior, which can often feel just like a baseball bat, you know. So I met with your new supersonic sight and rock musician hearing. Oh, right. Yeah. That's pretty good, Haas. Thank you. And thanks for carrying me through that. My vision's almost there. I still have some of the nitrous oxide bubble in this eye, which you can kind of see my eye doesn't look quite right. It's a lot better than it was before. I can use it. But they're from like here down. Yeah, from here down in this eye, it's like looking through a glass of water. The bubble's dissipating. I think I got another week or so with it. It should have been done by now, but it's taken longer. I'm officially, as of last Tuesday, I'm at 8 weeks. Hey, Tom Fox, how are you, buddy? Good morning to Australia. I hope you're well, sir. Anyway, so 65 amps. Let's talk about that for a minute. I have come to a verbal agreement so far with a contract manufacturer that I have really, really, really high faith in. Thanks, Randy. Hey, Randy Kreth, how are you, Reverend? I was just going to ask, how are you? Are you improving too? Are you getting back into the land of the living? Randy and I both had simultaneous problems. I hope you're well, buddy. I've been sending my best energy your way. Anyway, so I have a contract manufacturer here in the U.S. That I'm extremely happy with and have very high confidence in. So we're going to get this guy going, and then I'm going to bring back, I think, just 2 of my legacy amps for now. In theory, I could make them all on order, but not like build stock. You know, like if you want to pay for it, we'll make it. But the 2 amps that I get endless requests for are the Little Elvis. And Stone Pony, of all things. I only made the Stone Pony for about 9 months, and then the tube supply ran to shit. But now with this new transformer setup, I can run it safely, and that amp sounds so good. You probably heard Scotty Bratcher playing his a lot. And I miss that amp quite a bit. That's a really good one. Extremely useful and really fun. So I'm going to do those, and then I'm going to do 2 variations on this one. This is 6L6's. Going to do a EL34, or an EL34. And then I'm working on 2 other things, right? The little tiny amp, which I'm still keeping under wraps right now, and software. Some AI software that you will, I think, be nicely surprised by. I have a provisional patent on it already. Bill Benson says, the Little Elvis was the first one I played at the Hotel Guitar Show when we first met. Oh, cool. Yeah, over at the LA Amp Show in Van Nuys, right? Mark Solinier says, I've owned 365 models. Is the SP really something, or is it hyped because it's rare? I think it's really something. I always find it interesting what models of any brand get elevated. Might be a little bit of scarcity hype going on there, but man, I think it's great. And I love that amp. Everybody who has one also guards it like a child. Oh, Randy, excellent. You're 99% healed. Hey, buddy, that's good news. I fell on the ice, though, a couple of days ago, but just bumps and okay, dude, don't do that. I spent time playing keyboards. Today I look forward to firing up little Elvis, speak of the devil, which a lot of people did call Elvis the devil because they were crazy. And Ventura, right on, man. So, yeah, I'm going to bring back that stuff. Some updates to them both. So, anyway, this sounds all right, man. I'm digging it. And then go over to Super Ranch if you want. It's pretty good for a P90. P90s usually don't like super high gain. Anyway, Randy, I'm thrilled that you're 99%, man. That's great. Did you get did the doctors ever figure out, hear that P90? Did the doctors ever figure out what was going on? Hey, Michael DeTemple, there he is. I was just saying your name, talking about what you did to this guitar. I was talking about how right out of the box from the custom shop, you made the frets way better. And you installed the Music City Bridge for me, and you put on your Mastodon ivory nut. Thanks, Tom. Yeah, I'm on the mend. I think I got another week or so. Michael, I think I'll be able to drive beginning of next week, and I'll come on over. Adam Hunt says, regarding Michael DeTemple, about 10 years ago, he set up a telly for me. I concur with Dan said about the fossilized ivory nuts. The guitar rings like crazy. It's an extravagance, but you can spend a lot more money on things that don't make that big of a difference. You know, that's pretty well said. I don't really consider it an extravagance. I think it's money well spent. For example, on this guitar, because Michael did such a good job on it, I didn't replace this pickup because the guitar now rings so good. I was like, man, it sounds great. I don't need to change the thing. And I think a lot of guitars are probably like that. Now, I'm not discouraging you from going out and getting cool pickups because that is fun. I just didn't need it on this guitar. Michael turned it around. So if you guys are in LA, you don't even have to be in LA. Just send your guitar to Michael and say, do that voodoo that you do. And you're going to be astonished at how good. Doc says part of the Bell's palsy limited to the optical nerve. Okay. Is it going to come back? That's too dirty. Come on. Oops. Go out and get yourself some deep dark shades. Songs from my childhood I never get tired of. With lenses so dark they won't even know your name. Go get yourself some cheap sunglasses. Anyway, The old rock and roll never gets tiresome, does it? Anyway, so Michael, how are you, buddy? How are you feeling? We're all recovering here. Michael had a surgery also in December. Michael, what's your percentage of recovery now? Are you doing good? We're just a bunch of old dudes trying to keep alive, apparently. Anyway, what a nice surprise. We got some really nice guys coming by today. It's excellent. Good to see Michael DeTemple. Good to see Bruce Egnator. Good to see Randy. I mean, all you guys. Nice bunch of dudes showing up at spur of the moment, too. I didn't really advertise the show because I didn't think the guitar stuff was going to work. I'm glad I made it work. Thanks to ChatGPT, it got me going. Just put my headphones on to listen to you, and the difference is unbelievable. Oh, good. Scotty, you're going to be the mean guy. Scotty Bratcher's here. Hey, buddy, good to see you. Welcome. Yeah. Well, good. Yeah, it doesn't sound that great on a phone. How are you going to be mean, Scotty? You're too nice to be mean. Oh, Hoss Thompson, good question. Are you going to give the first new amps some kind of designation, seed money 1 or the like? Michael says I'm about 85%. I'm doing good. Hey, good. I'm glad to hear that, man. I know you've been through it. We're all going through it. Aging's fun. At least we can do it together and laugh about it, right? Now people say fuck cancer and fuck Parkinson's. Fuck age. Anyway, no, I don't know. Mike Franciscini has some suggestions about the new naming convention, which I think are pretty good. Jerry White has a good question here. This guitar is still on the market, Randy. Thank you. It is a rock machine. That's right. Getting old is the shits. Then you get older. Hey, DJ Melkor. Saludos. Good to see you, buddy. I can hear it from my doctor's lobby. Jerry White says, is there much variation in amp circuits that use EF86 valves, or are they all pretty similar? I really love the EF86 valve tones in my London and HP Soho. Yeah, I mean, an EF86 is a pentode, and most amps are using twin triodes. And if that's not gobbledygook for you, a pentode has 5 elements, right? And triode has 3 elements. So they have a different vocabulary for sure, and different gain structure and everything. They do sound better. I like EF86s. They're very temperamental tubes, and they can't live in an environment that rattles or vibrates too much. Yeah, it is a rock and roll machine, isn't it? It's a good guitar. I hate to get rid of it, but I don't have any extra money, so I need this money to get a guitar that I think I need more. Unfortunately. Vocabulary, man. Vocabulary is such an important part of your vocabulary, Haas. What kind of vocabulary do you have if you cannot properly use the word vocabulary? You smell what I'm thinking? What is that, Tom Petty song? Maybe a little step up in game. I'm sick, I can't sing. Love is a long, long road, right? So is that it? Woman in Love. close, isn't it? Now this is Rick Skillman's calling me. You guys know Rick Skillman, right? Oh, let me tell him I'll call him right back. Rick Skillman, who is now with Eminence. Love is a long, long road. That's it, Hoss. Thank you. But it starts off with the keyboard. Bum, 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 bum. Tom Fox says, was messing with some old radio and TV valves a while back with a mate, and he ended up using a Pinto tube, wasn't an EF86, that ran a 12-volt heater filaments. It was an amazing beast. Yeah, I love Pintos. I think they sound really good. Like I said, they're just sensitive to vibration. Also, the supply is low compared to, twin trios. Scotty, now I'm still curious, man. How could you ever be the mean guy? I don't see that happening. My 3-year-old only lets me listen to 12-string petty. Man, he's got some rules for a 3-year-old. Jeez. We haven't gotten to that one yet. Long, long road. It's a great song. Starts off with a very 80s keyboard sounding. Bum, 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 bum. 80s eighth notes. Like 90% of songs in the 80s were all eighth notes underneath it. Man, there's so much good. If you have XM radio, just tune to Tom Petty radio and forget it. Between the Petty catalog and then replays of Petty's Buried Treasure show, which is incredible. Sounds like a Birds fan in the making. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Scotty's son, he's pretty musical kid, 3 years old. Let's go a little cleaner. This is all on a foot switch. I just don't hook it up. So I can go and back it down a little bit and go super clean. And that's good P90 sound, isn't it? Channel 31, man. Tom Petty radio rocks. All right, gotta love you and all you'll leave you. Oh, Tom, good to see you. Thanks for dropping in. Have a great day. Amazing news about the relaunch of 65. Have a great day. You too, buddy. I look forward to talking more soon. Thanks for dropping in from Australia. It's kind of funny for those cheesy 80s songs that we all kind of wrote off because they're cheeseball or they got played too much to the point where we got sick of them. Some of them are really fun. That's one where I was like, man, that's actually a really good song. Jenny, Jenny, who can I turn to? You give me something I can hold on to. It's great, but the lick is so fun. I mean, I probably should throw some big ol' echo on there. Yeah, you get the idea. So hear that kind of low-end grunt. If you're on a phone, you're probably not hearing it. But if you're on headphones or earbuds, that's good Junior stuff, right? prettier side. But let's turn the gain down. Yeah, it is kind of like Radar Love there, isn't it? I've been driving all night, my hands wet on the wheel. Whatever the lick is. But it's kind of the same kind of vibe. It's that grunt. That I like. But the cool thing is, like, I'm running this at 20 watts. It's a pair of 6L6s. All right, Randy, you too, brother. Take care of yourself. Good news. Thanks for sharing the good news. You're almost out of the woods. I appreciate you sharing that with us all. Love you, buddy. Take care. Yeah. So, and the amp's only on 6, so I mean, as I said, we can drop this down to 3 watts. And you can play it at home without pissing off your neighbors and keeping your kids asleep, all that stuff. You can play in coffee houses and jam with your buddies without it being crazy. Mark Salnier says, you ever heard of Nags guitar? Yes, I have. They're really nice. They have iterations of all the classic designs, including a Les Paul Jr. Yes, they do. That guy Nags used to work for Paul Reed Smith, I think. He was a builder at Paul Reed Smith, I think. Yeah, they're nice guitars. Definitely. Now I'm playing the pure nickel strings on here, which are a little darker than normal strings most people use. Michael DeTemple was the guy that turned me on to the pure nickel strings. They're not quite as snappy and zingy as nickel wound strings, but yeah, they're just cool. It makes it sound like a real rock and roll guitar. Anyway, Les Paul Jr., guys, help me realize my dreams and buy this guitar. This is a pretty maximized Junior. I mean, it's had the full Michael DeTemple treatment. Scotty Bratcher says, you may have answered this a million times, but does the impedance change by pulling from a different part of the Yes. Yes, it does. So the way a transformer is wound, most transformers, at the very top, if you pull from there, you're getting 16 ohms. To get 8 ohms, you're pulling not quite halfway down, but somewhere down there. And when you get 4 ohms, you're about 2/3 of the way down. And 2 ohms even less. So you're not using the windings above those taps. Depending on the transformer, that's not a good thing. That's why all British amps are 16 ohms. The only time you use the 8 ohm tap on a Marshall or a Vox is if you're running 2 cabinets. Because then it cuts the impedance in half, right? Haas, you're not a snob. You're just stating the truth. It's all right. But yes, it does make a difference. You can hear it side by side. Like even with my transformers, if you take it and run 8 versus 16, you'll hear a difference. But you have to be side by side. Audio memory is good for like 5 seconds before you lose your detail. So yes, the answer is yes. Haas Thompson says, at the risk of being called a guitar snob, vintage enthusiast, the wood that's being used in the golden age are just not available in the quantities needed for commercial building. That's very true. I mean, shit, Honduran mahogany, was the poor man's Cuban mahogany back when it was virtually extinct in the 1920s. Yeah, and then aged wood is gone. So unless Michael has some aged wood. This neck, we're building a telly together. Here it is. This is roasted aged swamp ash. And I think Michael said he bought this 30 years ago and it was already old then. So this is an extremely dried out, nice piece of swamp ash. It's going to ring like a bell. Sorry, that was regarding wattage options you're doing on the new amp. Oh, I'm sorry. All right, tell me the question again. I think I blew it. Oh, I'm sorry. Michael, thank you for correcting me. This is maple. The body on the guitar is swamp ash. This is roasted maple. My bad. What a dumbass. Yeah, no, this is maple, not ash. Thank you, Michael, for correcting me. But you had this wood for a while already, right? Didn't you tell me you bought this in the 90s or something like that? But anyway, yes, this is quarter sawn roasted maple. You can see the quarter sawn marks on it are perfect. So this is, and notice what's missing here. What's not here? The body is swamp ash. Yes, thank you, Michael. I'm out of it. I'm tired. I misspoke. I apologize. No truss rod. No truss rod. This wood. Hear it ring? That's pretty sweet, isn't it? Guess what it's going to do when you put strings on it? So anyway, Scotty, sorry, when you go from 30 watts to 3 on a new prototype, does that output stay? Yes. I'm sorry, I misunderstood your question. Yeah, the impedance doesn't change. That's purely where you're plugging into the tap. It's still 16 ohms. That is correct, sir. Thanks for keeping me on my toes, Michael. I'm sorry. I had this wicked sinus infection for 2 weeks now, and I'm still on antibiotics. So my IQ is lower than my normal low. It's already pretty low IQ. Rob Price says, I hear Celestion standardized 16 ohms because of the bad quality speaker cables. The higher impedance was less effect. The less effect the cable will affect the overall impedance. I had not heard that before. Could be for me as an amp maker, the higher impedance you do on the transformer, the more of the windings you're using. Wish I had a transformer here. I thought I had some laying around I could show you. I have a couple of amp chassis here. I'll try to grab one next time. We'll go over that at a future date. You can see there's lots of illustrations online. So the more windings you're using, you can think of it in modern terms as data, right? Because you have a primary and a secondary, and the signal of this from the preamp, from the tube section of the amp is going into the primary of the output transformer. So the power tubes and everything are going into the primary of the output transformer. Then that signal gets transformed. No secrets here. Gets transformed, transformer, right? Transforms a signal into something that drives a speaker. So the more of that winding you're using, the more that signal is passing from the primary to the secondary. So it's just more information. If it's good information, you want that. If it's not good information, you can tame bad behaviors in an amp by going to a lower impedance on a transformer, which is fine. But you can see a lot of amps that have like 4 ohm outputs. If you hook a 16 ohm transformer up to it, it sounds really different. It sounds pretty ratty and sandy and grainy. But that doesn't matter. However you arrive at good is good. It's fine. There's no right or wrong. It's just personal preference. But if you notice, all British amps are 16 ohms. And from what I understand from the guys that I've talked to, mainly Derek Underdown, who was the head engineer at Vox, it was the same thing of like you get a better sound out of a 16 ohm tap. You get more detail, you get more information, which I agree with that from my experience. I haven't measured it, but my anecdotal experience is that. But that's very interesting, Rob. I look into it. It could be. I can't imagine that a cable adds too much impedance, But actually, if you look at all those old Celestion speakers, they say 15 ohms on them. Late to the gig. Had to renew a credit card. Dang it. Doing dishes now. Well, that's good, man. Actually, I'm getting ready to hang it up here in just a moment. A lot of nice people showed up today. Thank you guys for coming, Michael. Thanks for correcting me on my 16 ohm and speakers wired in series. That's a ticket. Yeah, two 8 ohm speakers wired in series will give you 16 ohms. Sounds great. Two 16 ohms in parallel gives you 8 ohms. So like when you plug in an extension cabinet on a Marshall or a Vox, you're dropping down in parallel to 8 ohms. But if you look at those old speakers, they actually say 15 ohms, not 16 ohms. Maybe that is the cable thing you're talking about, Rob. Maybe there's that 1 ohm. Yeah. Well, thanks, Phil. Good to see you, man. Yeah, I'm getting a little better. My eyes almost normal now. I still have, you can kind of see like the pupil looks a little blown and everything. Turn this off. Anyway, get the idea. Once again, this guy is for sale. It's practically new. It's less than a year old. Got everything from the custom shop and all of Michael DeTemple's upgrades to it. And it don't get no better than that. God damn it. Still can't see. My depth perception's still screwed up. Anyway, so before I go, is there anything pressing on your mind you guys want to talk about? Any questions? Any amp questions? The good news is, just a recap for those of you who weren't here, I found a contract manufacturer here in the United States that I'm really excited about, and I think it's going to help us get to market quickly and at a good price. So stay tuned for good news about that. Yeah. And for those of you here in town, I should be able to drive next week. Once this bubble goes out of my eye. It's supposed to have been gone already, but it's lingering, which is very strange. Oh, that could be true, Rob. Long cable runs for PA speaker cables. Yeah. Yeah, you can start to add impedance over a long run, definitely. That is true. That is true. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying I hadn't heard that. But you learn something new all the time. For guitar amps, we're talking about a run like this big, from the power section to the output transformer and then the output transformer to the speakers. Maybe 18 inches of straight wire, not even like speaker cable. There shouldn't be any impedance relationship there that matters. But I haven't measured it, though. Now that you brought that up, I need to see how much impedance there is on that wire. But anyway, before I go... Oh, good question, Haas. You're still going to be using void and knot-free birch on your cabinets? I plan to. Yeah. I'm trying to use the best wood I can. Now, because of... the world economy, I'm going to say it nicely without going into politics, the new world economy, everything's expensive. Just since I quit making amps on my own, when I did the license deal, everything has doubled. So I'm going to be doing these new amps, printed circuit board, only with really good components. I'm trying to keep the cost down. Printed circuit board technology has become as good or better than hand wired. Plus, no one cares about that shit anymore. But the cork sniffing snobs are such a small part of the market now. It's just not worth it. The labor. Now, it's not going to cut the price in half by doing it on a printed circuit board, but it will reduce it by 30%. So instead of having to double my prices, I definitely got to increase over what the old prices were a long time ago, of course. Nothing's the same today that it was in 2012. So, that's when I quit making amps myself, and I did the license deal was at the end of 2012. So you can imagine most things have doubled since then, especially through COVID and the new sort of tariff economy. It's sort of a toll booth economy, like fees for everything. No matter what you buy, there's a bunch of fees on top of it. Fees. Extra taxes, extra fees, extra tariffs. That makes manufacturing a little more challenging than it used to be. So anyway, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to try to get you an affordable product that you're happy spending money on. We're going to add some new stuff to it, like the effects loop that people ask for a lot. And a couple of other things. I'm going to do the, play with the voltage like I do on this one. On Elvis, I don't know that we need to do that. It's only a 12-watt amp. Hoss Thompson asks, a good question. I wonder if there is an indigenous plywood that would be a reasonable alternative. Yeah, I think there's a few options. And I need to just hear samples. Birch sounds great. Birch is like drum shell material. But, people make cabinets out of pine. Fender does. Fender cabinets are pine. And they sound great. And the U.S. is lousy with pine. We have pine forests that go on for days. And pine trees grow fast. So they're replenishable. A lot of old growth doesn't really matter on pine as much. It matters, but not as much. And I think there's a few other stuff. So I'm going to try that and see. Maybe there's a premium and then maybe there's a not. Basil. Challenge accepted. I've never been happy to spend money. Just kidding. Yeah. What do you want to spend money on? Me? Let's do it. Come to Papa. Polonia cabinets. I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know how much Polonia costs. When you're doing plywood, it's a different thing than buying raw wood. I can't believe I called this an ash neck. I'm so sorry. This is maple, man. This is good maple. I'm so excited to get this guitar finished. And if I hadn't had eye surgery, it would be done already. Michael had some issues as well. And then we're healing up together and going to finish the guitar. Yeah, it's a good question on cabinet wood. The manufacturer that I'm using is pretty vertical. Like he makes cabinets, he makes the chassis, everything. I just need to provide him with. There's some board components that I use that are non-standard and transformers. Whatever you used to do in your cabinets is perfect. Glad I have 6 of them. Hey, I need to buy a cabinet from you, Mike. You have 6 of them. That's fantastic. I use, Baltic birch. Triple B or A grade Baltic birch. Chad Boston, hey buddy, I didn't make it to NAMM. I was sick. I still have a sinus infection. I'm taking antibiotics and everything. And I couldn't make it down there. I'm sorry. I hope you had a good time. Chad Boston runs the Line 6 Helix group on Facebook, and you have hundreds of thousands of members. It's really cool. I met Chad when I was working over at Line 6 for a long time. Super guy. Anyway, so we got lots to talk about, but amps will be coming. And if you have any opinions on which of my legacy amps I should bring back, feel free to tell me. Post it on the fans page. We can talk about it over there. Message me directly. I don't care. It's fine. Scotty Branch says, Mike Liebtrop, you guys, between the two of you, own more 65s than I do. which is crazy. Jamie Loney says, I'll support you when you're up and running with the new amps. Put me on. Oh, thank you, man. Put me on the list. I have a brick and mortar music store in West Michigan. I would love to have a couple sold. I will definitely look you up. I don't have anyone in Michigan. So Michigan is yours. Let's do it. Uh-oh. Oh, no. Now we're getting into cabinet. Ooh. Cabinet wars between Mike Leapshot and Scotty Bratcher. Yeah, man, we need to get you two guys together and take some pictures. That would be cool. That would be cool. Yeah, you guys have a ton of cabinets. I don't have that many. I've only got like 3. And one of them's, 2 of them are 112. I have 2 112s and a 212. I've never owned one of my own 412s, believe it or not. Scotty Bratcher has almost all of them. We didn't make that many. And I like them a lot. It's just the 412 market's not that big. It wasn't worth it for us to keep them in stock, and they're expensive to ship. And when you load up a 412, it weighs a lot, and shippers charge you a lot for that. I shipped a lot of them empty, so the dealers could put whatever speakers they wanted in there, or they would buy the speakers that we use from Celestion and put them in themselves. To save on the shipping, it was worth it. 2 heads, 2 combos, 2 cabinets. Look at you, Rob Price joining in. Jerry White says, I remember when Chris Fontana at Rift Amps, finding it difficult at one point finding really good cabinet makers. All sorted now, though. Yeah, that was always a challenge for us, too. Cabinet makers are a little spotty. I always had a policy of having 2 cabinet makers, because the minute you only have one, their prices go through the roof. They all do that. I got bit by that once and never again. So I made sure both cabinet makers knew that I had another cabinet maker, and my prices stayed stable. I had one cabinet maker raise prices like 30 or 40% at NAMM. I had already published my price list and everything and made pricing based on my costs. And then they came to me and said, yeah, here's your new price list. And I'm like, wait, what? Cut into my profits dramatically. Cabinets are expensive. They're one of the most expensive part of the amps. Transformers are the most expensive, and then cabinets are second. So anyway, I'm really confident about this new guy, and I'll be sharing him with you soon. I'm actually probably going to go to his shop. I can't fly with this gas bubble in my eye. I can't even go over 2,000 feet, if you can believe that. 10 cabinets, 10-inch speakers. Yeah, I do too. Every time we made them, no one bought them, though. I love 10s. Scotty Bratcher says, once you get up and running, we'll have to do an annual 65 amps pilgrimage where everybody brings all their amps together for a picture. Hell yeah, I love that. We'll do it somewhere in the middle of the country where it's easy. We can all meet in my home state of Missouri or something. I know places we can throw a hell of a party. Well, we'll just see where everybody is and find a convenient place. I love that idea. I think, Mike, you're in Atlanta, right? Are you still in Atlanta? Basil, what would happen if you flew with the gas bubble? Oh, it would burst and my eye would be dead. I would have a glass eye after that. Or a patch. Yeah, if the bubble bursts right now, my eye will die. It will damage my eye. So be careful. Oh, you're in Augusta. That's right. Ooh. Maybe we should meet out there every spring. Can you get us on the tournament? And then I'll give you whatever you want. Your London is 2 10s. Oh, right. Gold cab. Yeah, that's a good cabinet. I love 10s. And every time I made something with 10s in it, people, yes, Basil, I will not be flying. We made them in the shop and we all sat around and went, God dang, these things sound good. And I tell dealers, hey, we take them to NAMM. People, oh yeah, they sound amazing. No one bought them. I can't explain it. I don't know why. People just want to stay down the middle, with what they're used to. I love 10s. You know who had a really cool amp was Matthew Sweet. Had a Marquee with 2 10s in it. and marquee combo with 2 10s, and it sounded so good. It was really nice, and yeah, yeah. So lots of options. It's hard to make something that isn't going to sell a lot. As fun as it is, you can't sit on stock, right? So um, it's a business at the end of the day, unfortunately. So, but I hear you. We could probably do with this guy. I'm sure we could make one-offs. They won't be cheap though. The only way you get value is economy of scale. So if I make 10 cabinets, it's kind of expensive. If I make 50 cabinets, it's a lot less money. Um, so for 10s, it'd be hard to pull off. We'll give it a look. Anyway, who else has a question or a thought? This is good. I've had a nice turnout. I didn't advertise this. I'm so relieved that the SSL ended up working. How did the guitar sound to you guys? Did it sound good compared to my Apogee interface? Because the Apogee sounds really nice. Plus, the Apogee has some built-in compression I can use, which is great for live casting like this. I can put a ceiling on stuff and boost the levels a little more. This does not have that. I don't have any compression. But it is an SSL 4K. Regarding 10s, I think people think they'll sound thinner and smaller. The real question should always be, does it sound good? That's right, Basil. 10s don't sound thinner and smaller. The thing that's fun about 10s is because they're smaller, they're faster. So the attack is good. So you ever played a super reverb? Or even a 210 like Tremolux? Early Tremolux was 210s. Dude, sounded good. Sounded good on your TV. All right, cool, Hoss. Thank you. Did you notice much difference? It's over the internet, so I think you guys are getting a subset of what I'm sending for sure. You're not getting the full signal, and it's getting compressed a lot, I think, between you and I. Anyway, I'm relieved that it worked because this interface wasn't expensive. It's $150 or something, and it's got that SSL. I love SSL tonality, and this has SSL 4K, preamps in it, and which I love. Sounds like a lot of my favorite records. All your Brendan O'Brien records are done on SSL 4Ks. Ding, ding, ding on the Tremolux. Yeah, Tremolux is great. Two of my favorite Fender amps have 10s in them, like a Harvard. A Harvard is basically a deluxe, only it's a 10, right? And the Princeton was different. And then you get into the 60s and the Princeton's killer. That's 10-inch speaker, sounds great. Most people are, yeah, Mike, the iPhone is probably the best example of something getting squished down to nothing on the internet. And if you liked it on the iPhone, that's good. Yeah, I still had that bite, cut, and clarity that your amps are renowned for. Oh, thank you, Haas. You're so kind. I blush. Thanks, man. I'm excited to get rolling, and I'm anxious to get rolling. I'm tired of sitting around. With the surgery and then now getting sick, you can still hear it in my voice. I haven't done anything since November. And it's not good for your mental health to sit around being housebound and recovering the whole time. So I'm very excited to get rolling. But anyway, I should go. It's 1:15 here in Los Angeles. On a serious note, the world is experiencing a lot of crazy stuff. Excuse me. That I don't think any of us like. So I'm preaching unity and understanding and peace and love. Hoping we can dig our way out of this crazy situation we're in and become better for it. So for you guys outside the United States, bear with us. We're going to make it work. For everybody in the U.S., hang tight, brothers and sisters. We're going to get this through. Rob Price says, I have a Tweed Vibrolux clone with a 110. It sounds great. Yeah, I love 10s. I agree with you guys. Like you're preaching in the choir. I love 10-inch speakers. But anyway, yeah, I don't know what it is. Like 10s are great, especially when I do this little bitty amp that I'm talking about. Like a 10 is the perfect speaker for it. Even an 8. So anyway, I do got to run. Hoss Thompson says, have a grand day and a lovely week, old bean. You too, sir. Thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. Excuse me. And I got to run. But anyway, I do appreciate your guys' time. Thank you for spending all this time with me. And I'll be back next week. Probably still playing the same amp. And again, that Junior is for sale. So just message me if you're interested in it. I will cut you a good deal. It'll be money well spent. It's kind of a keeper guitar. So, sincere best, everybody. And I will see you next week. All right. Love you guys. Take care.